Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a review of a black comedy from Argentina, Spanish language English subs, released in the year 2012, directed by Daniel de la Vega, and this movie is called Hermanos de Sangre. So the English title is Blood Brothers. So story to Hermanos de Sangre, you've got this very vulnerable individual. He's overweight, he's very conscious of that. He is working at a workplace that he's constantly being bullied. Both of his parents died, so his auntie, who is very religious, is looking over him. She's constantly enforcing her beliefs on him. She wants him to be a person that he doesn't want to be. He's got an ex-girlfriend that's also very obsessive, so he wants her out of his life. And he's also in love with a workmate who's basically the only nice person to him. But the workmate he knows he can't be with because she has a boyfriend, and it's the boyfriend who is constantly humiliating him in front of everybody to make him look bad in front of the girl he likes. So very depressed individual. Life really isn't going well for him. So he ends up going to a nightclub one evening because he feels that he could hook up with someone, but it doesn't go to plan. So he's disappointed and he leaves the nightclub, but he realises that he's left his wallet behind. So the next morning he gets a phone call from this strange person that says he's got the wallet, that he can return it to him at this coffee shop. So they both go to the coffee shop. The main character gets his wallet back, and then strangely, this guy says that he can lead this guy to a happy life. So the guy's skeptical at first. He thinks, what's going on? But very quickly the two of them make a very strong connection with each other. So thinking that he's going to go down a very happy path, he ends up going down a very morbid path. And whether or not his life can turn out for the best or the worst, something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Hermanos de Sangre. This is an incredibly strange film, and the thing I like most about Hermanos de Sangre is that it's done by a director who appears to have his own unique style. Now I can't comment any further on that because I haven't seen any other Daniel de la Vega films. I've got another one of his movies in my collection called Necrophobia, which seems to be a traditional horror film, so I can't wait to watch that one. But what I mean by a unique style, it reminded me of the works of Gaspar Noé, Terry Gilliam, David Lynch, Cronenberg. I'm not saying this director is up to that level. I'm saying that they're similar in the fact that it feels like a movie that is done very differently, whereas you've got a lot of other films that seem very similar to each other, and you have to actually look up who the director is to know who directed it, because it could have been anybody. But then you've got a very few select directors who actually, you can tell who directed it by watching the movie because it's their own unique way. So Daniel de la Vega in this movie, he combines a very strange sense of humour with shocking violence and just very exaggerated characters. And the way that the movie is actually shot was very unique. It was very morbid. It actually felt like you were trapped in some kind of nightmare. And it felt like this was a low-budget filmmaker that was making a movie that appeared to have a lot more money than it actually did. So it is signs of a very skillful filmmaker, and that's why I think Hermanos de Sangre worked the way it did. I thought it was a very fun film. The script was very good. I thought none of the humour was lost in translation, because I was laughing quite a few times. And I thought just a very peculiar way that the movie has. It's a very quirky, very strange, but most importantly, it's very self-aware. So you kind of see this setup where this really strong guy is manipulating the smaller guy. You see the transformation in the character of the main guy. It's a very likeable individual, which is again what makes the movie interesting, is that you really care for this guy because he's being manipulated, he's being bullied, and you can sense that he's a really good guy. But when he meets this strange guy, you don't know what this strange guy's motive is, and you don't know, the connection that they have. It's a tale of friendship. It's a tale of basically turning your life around, but it never takes itself seriously. It's got that underlying message, but most importantly, it wants to be an entertaining film. But then all of a sudden you kind of think that the movie is going to play out a certain way, and that you're going to get a twist, and that twist I thought I could predict. So I thought, oh, not one of these films again. I've seen these 100 times before. Let's just see how it pans out. And then when that twist, the moment I thought that twist was going to come about, the movie takes a completely different way, and it actually makes you feel like an idiot for basically thinking it was going to finish that way, because the director knows exactly what you're thinking. It actually feels like he's having a lot of fun with it, and it actually feels like it's playing on the twist. That very predictable and very commonly used twist that feels like a cop-out. It actually feels like the director of this film is making fun of that twist. He's actually making you believe that he's going to do it again, but all of a sudden, I'm going to go down this path. So it loses predictability, and you actually kind of feel a little bit silly because you believe that it was going to happen this way, and it actually feels like the director knew all along what you were thinking. So he's playing the viewer, and I really love that. You know, not a lot of directors can do that, and I just love the way it panned out. It felt like it wasn't taking any cheap tricks. It actually felt like it was a very respectful film, and it's a film that I was very surprised with. I thought the acting was surprisingly very good. As I said, the main character is very likable. The guy he meets up with is very manipulative. He's very scary, but at the same time has a certain charm to him, so you can believe the friendship that is being drawn together. So on one hand, you've got a film about friendships, you've got a film about human behaviour, but on the other hand, you've got this really insane, quirky tale of just complete bloodshed. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it's a very violent movie. You're laughing at things that you shouldn't laugh at. Just thought it was very well written, and the ending is extremely exaggerated. So lose all sense of realism, because this movie is not going to strike you with any realism. But underneath, you can sense that it's got a very charming tale to it. It's got a very charming theme, but it never dictates that theme, which is what I loved about it too. So hopefully Daniel De La Vega is a director who is going to make his own unique style of movies. I can only really determine that after I watch his other film that I have. But yeah, Hermanos de Sangre is a very good start for this director, and it's one that I am going to be recommending to everyone out there. So overall for Hermanos de Sangre, very strange, very funny and shocking. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.